discussion here. You've said some really interesting, provocative things about the paradox between complexity and simplicity. Things are getting more complex and simpler at the same time, which I think, in my experience, is true. Now, what I want to know is, how does that affect you? That's where I started off. You've got these major shifts and change in the industry, such as the Oracle and Sun deal, and how it affects HP. Well, how does it affect Laurus? How does it affect much smaller organization, much more tightly focused, as you were saying? How is it affecting you?
What we're finding is that customers are getting a tighter relationship with Laurus because of the fact that I guess the dichotomy you just brought up between the complexity and the change and consolidation and the challenges that customers face. They now have to narrow down their community of trusted partners to the ones who can actually help them. So the ability to actually succeed in that exercise that you outline is, the stakes are ever higher.
So, I mean, is it that are they kind of fleeing to you as a safe harbor because what the big guys are doing isn't in their best interest, or?
What's interesting is if you look at customers, there's change taking place across the board, and customers used to have a model of, we will staff up with as many experts as we can that know ourselves and our business, and we'll have them on staff. There is more specialization taking place, and there's cost constraints, and businesses desire to keep costs as low as possible. And if you look at that from the customer side, and then if you look at it from the vendor side, each vendor is being asked to deliver in so many different places, in so many different technology components, that they have a difficult time having the expertise in all those areas. So if you put Laurus in the middle of that, our ability to have experts in those areas that also know customers mean that we can actually bring forward value to solve customers' problems that they've, I hesitate saying grown dependent on, but a relationship has formed and more relationships continue to grow.
So what haven't we covered? What have I missed here on this issue? Any glaring omissions in our discussion?
I don't know if there's any glaring omissions, but this change in this process is continuing. And there's a tremendous amount of strategy that customers need to make sure that they have in place so that they can position themselves best for the future and leveraging the consolidation that's taking place. Laurus has a tremendous amount of expertise and is emerging as a leader in that space in strategic planning.
When you said before, you're growing. I mean,
Correct.
People are cutting back, people are constricting, people are...
The market is showing us that all the things that we've discussed and the things that I'm telling you are very true, because we've grown every year for the last 10 years. And anybody who's grown every year for the last 10 years has something that customers want.